except three visualizations. Those are, one is stacked, like these are the combination visualizations, stacked bar with a line, and second one is a clustered bar with a line, and remaining all were done, and last one is arcgis maps. Stacked bar with a line, here also, like you need to represent your dimensions, first dimension, second dimension, that state wise. On a line, as I said, the most frequently line will be used as part of time related intelligence. So what I am doing here is, just a second. Manoj, I cannot mute you. Please go ahead to mute. Okay, fine. So the next visualization is stacked bar with a line. So we already know about a stacked bar, which is nothing but all the measures will be represented in a single bar, and all will not start from a zero. All will not start from a zero. All the measures will be represented in a single bar, and all the measures will not start from a zero. On top of previous measure, the another measure will be represented. Here, if you want to represent a bar chart and a line chart together, we have an option with the two visuals are there. One is a stacked bar and second one is a clustered bar. So stacked bar, here you have the shared axis, column series, column values, line values, tooltips are there. So first two are that dimension and subdimension, and the value, and if you want to represent anything through a line, you can represent that one with the line visual, and if any other measures that you want to represent, we are going to represent through a tooltip. Now, as all the values are not starting from 0, this will not make any sense. Okay, it is showcasing that the profit of Andhra Pradesh, like it is showcasing with respect to state level. If I am not using a city, that makes some sense. That makes some sense. Like if I am not using a city, that makes some sense. It is showcasing that, like the profit is 3060, and here the profit is 1360, and here the profit is 2710. But whenever I take the another series, so each state was represented based on the city. At that time, the line whatever you selected, it is not giving with respect to city level. It is giving at a high level only, the first level of dimension only. So this will not make any sense at that time. Only first level of dimension it is going to represent. Similarly, if you want to represent any other measure, you can represent a multiple lines. So it's a combination chart. You can represent a bar chart and a pie chart. And here the configuration is the same things whatever we already had a discussion. And legend, what color, like general, what is X position, Y position, height and width. legend, what color is representing what and where you want to place. And x-axis, like the color, font family, minimum category width, category labels, title, and if you enable a title, what title you want to give, what color, and size, font family, we already had discussion. Y-axis also, start and end values, color, text size, font family, display units, title, grid lines, color, everything we had a discussion. Data labels, and then after how you want to represent the data labels, position, family, shapes. So that for that line, if you want to shade the area, you can make it. And start is the stroke width, the line width, and then after join types here with what you want to join, and the markers. Custom series is nothing but each line you can customize it with whatever you want. So one line I wanted to increase the width. Okay, you can see that this one is having more width than this one. So if you want to customize a specific line, you can customize it with the help of a custom series. And plot area is nothing but a background image, and a title, background, general, everything we had a discussion. The simple concept is, along with the bar chart, if you wanted to include another line, you can use it. But here the line is going to represent as part of the first dimension. It is whenever you use another dimension, it is not going to split into multiple lines. So at a state level only it is getting represented. And you have another visualization called clustered line. So clustered line, you know that clustered visualization is nothing but for each measure or for each dimension you have a separate bar will be generated. And for that, like if you want, with that, if you want to use any line visualization, you can use it. So here you can see separate bars were generated for each state. On top of it, line visualization came. Other than that, nothing is there. But as I said, the line visualizations will be used most frequently with respect to time related intelligence. Whenever you are using a dimension with respect to date, if your first dimension is a date, at that time it will make some sense. As I showcased a couple of reports, you can see this is a bar chart with a line. So as it is a bar chart with a line, it's a clustered bar chart with a line. So here we represented that x-axis, that x-axis has a dates and y-axis has a ratings, and here it is representing my rating will be always 1 to 5 will be there, and on top of it we represented average rating. So whenever you are using the time related intelligence, you can use that line charts as I said in a previous session. And whenever you use at a month level data, you can see. So the next one is ArcGIS maps. So we have almost 10 map visualizations are there to represent the geographics. Like based on the requirement, we are going to use the maps. So here, previously we already had discussion regarding the map visualization and a fluid map visualization. Map visualization is going to showcase the bubble on top of a location, and fluid map is going to fill the area. Other than that, as part of a custom visualizations, we have lot of visualizations which are representing a location. Now this one here also almost the same configuration is there. You can verify the location is nothing but the first level of dimension what you have, and latitude and longitude, and instead of that I will provide a city name. As I said, we have some spelling mistake as part of Andhra Pradesh. I'm providing a city name. Latitude and longitude is fine, and the size, what data you wanted to represent. I want to represent that amount paid. And the color, if you want to represent any other dimension like a color saturation, I want to represent the pending amount also. And here the size is going to represent the amount paid, and the color is going. From tomorrow onwards I will lock the room so that after I started a class after 5 or 10 minutes people cannot join. So people are continuously joining and they're not unmuting it. So keep on beep sounds are coming and keep on noise is getting. So the amount paid, and the bubble size is going to showcase the amount paid, and the color is going to represent the pending amount. The time is nothing but yesterday whatever you observed for a scattered chart. If you want to give the animation, you can. Okay, here you have that one, and a tooltip that you already know. So whenever you configure your ArcGIS map, by default it is going to display like this. Then after you have some properties are there. This is a focus mode that you already know, and here edit is the one like where you can configure more. So export data, it is going to export the data. Show data, it is going to showcase the data associated with that visual. Remove and stop later, fine. Now edit, whenever you click on edit, you are having some options over here. Those are base map. There are some base maps are there. How you wanted to represent your data, that map you can select. You can select the map however you want to represent, and then after location type. So how you wanted to represent your locations, you wanted to represent points or a boundaries. Points mean that bubbles were came. Boundaries and locations are in one country or multiple country. So here I have in one country, and that country is India. Location type, these are the districts or sub districts. You can see that area was filled. Previously we have bubbles, now that area was filled with some color. Based on our spellings that we given, it was identified these things. Or you can use our latitude and longitude so that it can able to identify many things. And then after click on OK. And based on the time period also that we selected. Fine. So now the next one is map theme. Map theme, it will not be useful for this one if you are using the location type as a points. The time map theme, how you are representing the points, it is going to showcase the locations only. Or a heat map, if you want to generate a heat based on some other value, you can. So this heat was representing based on that method that we used, amount paid and a pending amount. The heat was representing over here, and size based on the value, the bubble size is getting represented, and the color, it is going to represent in different colors. Size and color, this was the by default thing you are getting, and clustering, it was getting grouped. However you want, you can specify. So symbol style, so whenever you are using that bubbles, what kind of symbol that you want to represent, you want to represent a bubble or a triangle or rectangle, or what color that you want to represent, everything. So the transparency of a color, you can see, and what color you want to represent, radius, how it is representing the center circle, and those options you can configure over here. Okay, so then after pins, so if you want to manually specify any location, you can specify from here. You can search anything and you can specify. You can specify here. If you want to highlight any locations, you can pin here. And a drive time, the distance between any locations, if you want to identify or if you want to represent, you can represent that one. So here you have the options are there to select. You can mention. And a reference layer is nothing but if you want to compare your data with any other data, you can use this reference layer. At this point of time, it was configured for only US related data. You can select whatever the data that you wanted to compare. Let's assume I have a data for 2017 USA average household size. So then you can take that one as a reference, the previous one, and I can analyze. One second. Previously I selected only India, that's why it is not showcasing here. Fine, anyways. So if you want to compare your data with your old data, you can use that one. By default, we have that US related data is there, and infographics. Infographics, like whenever you selected that reference layer, if you want to calculate or if you want to evaluate anything, you can make analysis from here. Infographics, previously I selected population, right? That's why it is showcasing this one. So it is saying that the 2016 US total population under age 18 is this one. Because I added a reference layer in previous thing, I selected this one. Based on that, it is representing this. So you can select this by default analysis dimensions, whatever you added. Based on that, it is going to represent the data. We don't have any proper data set for India, like I didn't add it. That is fine. And so actually these these maps we need to purchase from AZURE. So if you want to use it, we need to purchase it, and it is asking that, boss, if you want to send the data to AZURE, you can send it or you can stop it. That is only the option that we have. So these are the options associated with the AZURE maps, and you can see that a better view as part of analysis with respect to map visualizations. Other than that, we have almost another 5 to 10 visualizations are there which are representing the maps. Those are custom visualizations. Leave about the custom visualizations. I hope to hear you are aware of what each map is doing, what each visual is doing, and what are the properties associated with that, how to use a visual. I feel you are able to comfortable on that. Now, as I said, there is a concept called custom visualizations. Custom visualizations, as part of interview, some people will ask you, did any time you used a custom visualization or not? What custom visualizations you used? They will ask you at that time, in order to tell, or in order to practice, in order to choose a better visualization, please practice these custom visualizations. Please practice infographic designer. Let me write infographic designer. And word cloud. power KPI matrix. Whatever you want, you can practice it, but I am referring 4 or 5. Table heat map. You can see the flow map. Chiclet slicer. That play axis yesterday I showcased. For your entire report, if you want, you can use it. Okay. So download these custom visualizations and practice it, so that will help you as part of interviews and as part of selection of your visuals also. Okay, so everyone use the donut chart and pie chart, right? All the places the same things will be there. So try to download and use these things, and if anyone having an issue to download these things, I will upload these custom visualizations as part of our drive. You can download from there and you can import it into your Power BI with the help of from a file option. If you select a from file, you can browse that custom visualization. You can browse that custom visualization whatever you want. So I will upload that custom visualizations in a drive. So try to practice them. That will help you. That's it about a complete visualizations concept. So based on the knowledge that you have here, you can explore in a custom visualizations and you can understand. As part of custom visualizations, you will have an example will be there. There will be a video also. They will explain how to use that one. It is not at all a big deal. Even though if you are facing some issue, please let me know. We'll work on that. That's it regarding about visualizations. Anyone has any questions on visualizations?
Srinivas is Arpit.
Yes, Arpit.
So there are so many visualizations. How we'll come to know that which one is best fit for our data?
Our data based on the data that we are going to represent. And here, like on a high level, each visualization can showcase the two dimensions or one measure. But based on the data that you are representing, let's assume you are using date related data, we are going to use the line charts. And if you are using the comparison analysis, you are going to use a bar chart. If you are representing distributions, let's assume if you are representing a scenario called if one person visits a one store, if the same person is moving to the another store, if you are like if you want to showcase the union related functionality, you have a card chart is there. If you are representing a numbers, you have a normal cards are there, multi-row cards.
Mm-hmm.
So, or if you are representing a geographical area, you have maps are there. There are very small scenarios where you have multiple concept, multiple visualizations are there called donut chart, tree map chart, and a bar chart. Whatever we understood like two dimensions at one measure. At that time, we are going to use different scenario. Like you cannot represent all 10 visualizations with a pie chart, right? 10
Yes.
visualizations with a donut charts we cannot represent. So that's why there you have the same concept can be represented by using a different visualizations you can use there. But on a high level, for a numbers cards, for a KPS gas, for a time related we have a line charts, for a comparison bar charts are there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I didn't got any update from the other people except Deepti, Shankar Reddy and Jahanavi. Any questions other people? Okay, fine.